Hey everyone, welcome back to another game recap. Today we're going to be looking over the game from August 21st, and we're going to be doing one of these recaps every day that there is action from the preseason and the regular season. So please like and subscribe if you would like to see more of these. Jake Fromm and the Commanders pulled this one out 29-28 at the last second. For the Ravens, Josh Johnson led the way for all passers. He had 145 yards, 10-12 with 2 touchdowns and a pick. Solid day for him. He's going to be battling for this third quarterback battle with Anthony Brown from Oregon. Brown was 6 of 10 for 40 yards, 2 touchdowns, and a pick. Solid days for both of them there. Brown also led the way on the ground. He had 37 yards rushing. Melvin Gordon wasn't far behind with 34 on 8 carries. Keaton Mitchell, the rookie from East Carolina, had a 31-yard rush. Justice Hill got some early playing time. He had 25 yards on the ground. Josh Johnson also chipped in 12, and Owen Wright chipped in 10. Interesting. I think if we could just base this bigger decision of the third quarterback of the Ravens off of this game, I think you got to go with Josh Johnson because he's been there and done that. But it'll be interesting to see how this develops after next week as well. Charlie Kolar from Iowa State and Norman North High School led the way. He had 61 yards receiving on 2 receptions. Solid day for him. They already have Isaiah Likely and Mark Andrews, though, so I don't know if Charlie Kolar is really going to play a big role, but he is really talented. Zay Flowers was the only true starter playing today. He had 2 catches and 37 yards and a touchdown. He is really, really good. He may not be the number 1 receiver out the gates, but it's a matter of time before he is. Travis Vokalek had 3 catches and 28 yards and 2 touchdowns. Really good day for him. Justice Hill chipped in 13 through the air. Dante Demas Jr. had 11. Tylan Wallace from Oklahoma State had 7 through the air and a touchdown. James Prochet had a 7. Keaton Mitchell also chipped in 6 through the air. Melvin Gordon had 1. I think the main thing to take away from here is that Zay Flowers looked really good, and he was my wide receiver 2 in the draft this year, and I think this preseason game just is more reason to confirm that belief because he looked great out there today. For the Commanders, they actually played their starters, so we can learn quite a bit here. Sam Howell looked really sharp, 19-25 for 188 yards and 2 touchdowns. His weapons are underrated. I like Cole Turner a lot. I think De'Ami Brown is a really good receiver. And then, of course, you got Jahan Dotson and Terry McLaurin, who we'll get into later. But I think there's a chance that Sam Howell is actually good. So we got to keep an eye on that. Jake Fromm was after him. He had 10-16 for 91 yards and a touchdown. And he had that game-winning drive also. Good stuff from him. Jacoby Brissett was 7 of 11 for 47 yards and a pick. Not a good day for him. My theory that he will eventually take over this job took a hit today for sure. Chris Rodriguez led the way for all rushers. He had 31 yards on the ground. Derek Gore had 23. Brian Robinson had 21 with a 4.2-yard average. Sam Howell chipped in 17 on the ground. Jonathan Williams had 15. Antonio Gibson had 4 carries for 15 yards, and Jacoby Brissett had 4 on the ground as well. It was interesting to see how the starters kind of divvied out the carries here because Brian Robinson only had 1 more carry than Antonio Gibson, but I still expect that Brian Robinson's going to get more carries during the year, but that is interesting to note. Jahan Dotson had a great day. I think he had 5 straight targets. He had 5 catches for 76 yards on 7 targets total. Awesome day for him. And Terry McLaurin had 3 catches for 39 yards. I don't think that this is going to be indicative of how targets are going to be split up down the road. I still think Terry McLaurin is going to be the main guy, but Jahan Dotson is really good. He can be a number 1 receiver for another team for sure. It's just that Terry McLaurin's kind of proven himself already, so I'm not quite there that Jahan Dotson's going to be the number 1, but he's not going to be far behind for sure. De'Ami Brown, I think, is really underrated. He had 2 catches for 27 yards and a touchdown. He looked great out there. Casimir Allen, he probably plays the same position as Curtis Samuel because they're both former running backs. 3 catches for 26 yards for him. Kyrick McGowan had 25 through the air. Cole Turner, now he's one of my deep, deep sleepers. People aren't really talking about him at all. I see Logan Thomas ranked higher than him, but if this game is any indication, we recruited Cole Turner in Nevada as a receiver. So he's a big time receiving threat. Maybe Eric Bieniemy, like he's not gonna get the target share that Travis Kelce will, but he'll play a similar role. He's definitely a name you want to watch out for, and he'll be available with the very last pick of your draft for sure. So keep an eye on him. Brian Robinson chipped in 4 catches for 17 yards. You don't really see that sort of receiving output from him, so that was interesting. Curtis Samuel had a catch for 11 yards. Antonio Gibson had 3 catches for 10 yards and a touchdown. I think as we get into the season, Antonio Gibson is going to be the clear leader in receptions between him and Brian Robinson. And I think Brian Robinson is going to take more of a lead as far as these carries are concerned. So runner, Brian Robinson for sure. Antonio Gibson, he caught the touchdown, 3 catches for him. He still might have a role. Or I should say he still might have a pretty sizable role. So watch out for that. Byron Pringle, another guy I think is underrated, and he was with Eric Bieniemy in Kansas City. He had a catch for 5 yards. Really, what I took away from this game is that the Commanders have a really underrated supporting cast to surround Sam Howell with. And if Sam Howell continues to look this sharp during the regular season, the Commanders might actually be a good team this year. So keep an eye on them going forward. And that'll do it for me, guys. Another quick one today. Only one game tonight. Please like and subscribe. Follow @WeAreDrafting on Instagram. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you later.